All right, so hi again, everybody. My name is Vern X Devore, aka Antics the Experience. Remember, you could call me X for ease of reference. That's quite fine. You could call me anything, just don't call me for money. I'm here to chat with you to give you some insight on Tobago Carnival, Tobago festivities, Tobago festivals, that Tobago vibe, that Tobago-ness. Welcome to Dear Tobago. It's an open letter to and from Tobago, coming on the heels of the October Carnival here in Tobago. I am live in Tobago, and this podcast, is really coming from a place of being in touch with people on the ground. So I'm talking directly to people who have been a part of the carnival as participants and as coordinators, executors, and people who have a genuine interest in Tobago. So I've been getting some really, really good feedback. Inside today's show, though, we're going to talk a little less and sing a little more. It's going to be about music today because Tobago had two major musical competitions, which was the Soca Star competition, and then, of course, Tuco had their Calypso competition. So coming out of those two events, there were a number of successful candidates, people who walked away with prizes and big prizes. I think the Calypso was $100,000. Yeah, $100,000. And when we talk about the Soca, I think that was $50,000. Yes. So just to give you a little insight, let me give you a little sample of the top songs. So coming out of the Soca competition, the top five places were Richard's Kerr. He had a song called Bacchanal. Richard's Kerr in position number 5. This is Bacchanal.
This is the worst. Let me see the hands them like this. Let me see the hands them like this. This is the worst. Give me. And everybody calling me Bacchanal man. Oh, Bacchanal man. Hey, Bacchanal man, Lord. And everybody calling me Bacchanal man. Oh, Bacchanal man. Hey, Bacchanal man, Lord. All on top of the truck. Watch me doing the dirty walk. And I really don't give a. I don't care what nobody say about me. Once we drinking me hot. And I'm jamming on a woman. Tell them haters to understand. I live in my life for the hell I want it. Not everything we do with your life, people gonna like it. How with the negative vibes are upset your spirit. The only time you could be the friend is when I can do something for them. Well, I do want them kind of friend. And as soon as I dismiss them, they call you again. They calling me Bacchanal man. Oh, Bacchanal man. Hey, Bacchanal man, Lord. And everybody calling me Bacchanal man. Bacchanal man.
In position number 4 in that Soca Star competition was Caston Cupid, no stranger to the soca market. He is a Tobagonian. Yes, Caston Cupid is family from Tobago. He just run across to work in Trinidad because he likes speed. But that's all right, Caston. All right, he sang a song called Dirty Vibes and placed 4th in the Tobago Soca Star competition.
1, 2, when they come with me dirty, yes me dirty. Mud and oil with me dirty. I need some paint with me dirty. I want a girl with me dirty. I want the dirty. Yes me dirty. Hey, mud and oil with me dirty vibe. I need some paint. Take me down. Then I saw come on up. The dirty vibes is here. The dirty vibes is here. Say yeah. Now with you, we plentiful in voice. I want to explain this song to all you know. Mud is indigenous to Tobago, you know. You know that? And Dirty Vibes, I come to cool the firestorm. I come to fix all the problems. Ah boy, I love it. Don't looking nice outside eh? So we're going to do one drop for the verse. 1, 2. Listen, I say my head done bad up already, but mama, my cup there for me. Yes, I want to live my life, enjoy it. No one can live my life. I say my head done bad up already, but mama liquor in my cup there for me. Yes, I want to live.
So that was Caston Cupid, Jared Balfour, GMB. 300 points he got for a song called Problems, and he got the bronze medal in the Tobago Soca Star competition. Let's hear that contribution from Jared Balfour. Problems. All right, what are you talking about?
Everything going up except my salary. I want my back pay.
Some money.
And I want it now.
I want my money. Problems. Some money.
Check.
Some money.
Short Park. Let's go. I wanna check the calendar, carnival the agenda. But when I check my pockets, I really don't have a cent. Without no money, boy, I in problem. I can barely keep up with all of my bills, them. Cause I want to take a drink with my friends, them. It didn't make sense to talk about my problem. It's only money could solve them. Tell them, I want it, yes. I need it, yes. Money. Oh, hey. I need it, yes. I want it, yes. Hey, somebody tell the promoter, can't pay tea and take with exposure. Can't wash me clothes on TV. You better cut the check for me. I prefer to work for what is mine. 24/7 I on the grind. So when I done mash up this spend, I expect to get. Cause without no money, boy, I ain't. I'm paying in court for all of the children. Because I want to take a drink with my friends, them. It don't make sense to talk about my problem. It's only money could. Tell them. I want it. I need it. Money. Whoa. Hey.
And of course, in second place, Mikey Tower and Too Real, 316 points. They had a song called Firestorm. I had a chance to chat with them briefly, so I'll give you a little snippet of that conversation. Mikey Tower and Too Real, they were the second place winners, the runners-up in that Tobago Soca Star competition. They really came out, and they have a nice song. You know what I mean? But let's listen to the interview we had with them, and immediately following that, you'll hear the song and their contribution that gave them that second prize.
Okay, well, competition always brings that drive and that energy, because everyone wants to be on top. But this particular group of 13 contestants, it was a little different this time. Yes, we were competing, but we were also having a enjoyment. We were having a fun
unity.
time, a unity together and vibes in and, jumping up and everything. Doing one another backups while we on interviews. Yeah. It was different. This one was very different.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, the energy of this particular song, I think, is one of the faster songs that we have coming out of the soca market for this year. I'll tell you this. I mean, I always tell people, if I say something, I will stand by it and I will repeat it. My thing is that I find we get a lot of groovy tunes coming into this particular carnival. And I don't know if it was just people being cautious and things. We all think about that though. Tobago Soca, you feel like it's really just groovy, or you feel Tobago has some energy tunes to let go to?
To me personally, I feel it's just a cycle of music.
Right.
Music, just like fashion, is a cycle. So 1 minute, bell bottom go be in style.
Yeah.
Next minute, bell bottom out of style, you see something else. And next 2 years, you see somebody in bell bottom again. You know, but that wasn't just in style the other day. How that is 560 and just the other day was 200. You know that kind of way. So it's the same thing with music. This year you will get plenty groovy. Next year you might get plenty power. But we deliver in anyhow. You were groovy, you were power, we were.
Bring the fire. Bring the fire. Bring the fire. Bring the fire. Bring the fire.
We from the Caribbean, we bring the heat. And when it is carnival, fire on the street. If you can't take the fire, stay on the bench. Cause this fire can't cool it, can't hold it, can't quench. Now every rock is waving up in the place. So the breeze from the rock and make the flame to blaze. Now the fire blazing, they cannot done. We burning more fire than the one game. But because we coming with the fire, fire, blaze, fire, raise, fire, this is the fire storm. Fire, blaze, fire, raise, fire, we burn another one. Set the fire with the flame, with the thunder, not the rain. And them holding out me name, Mr. Fireman. He's it running through me vein, sending signal to me brain to lock off the water me. This is fireland. Light it up now. Ease it up now. Blaze it up now. Who will bring the total love because we coming with the fire, blaze, fire, raise, fire. This is the fire, blaze, fire, raise, fire. We ain't good fall.
And of course, wrapping things up. Thank you very much, Mikey. Thank you very much, Too Real. Yes. Wrapping things up and, of course, taking that top prize, gold medal, the crown, the king, Culture B. The name of the track is Strong Rum. Strong Rum. That's a real kind of, small island soca kind of vibe. Eh? Yeah, think about it, that Vincy Mars, that Grenada Carnival, that rum song, that rum soca kind of vibe. Trinidadians will tell you straight up. I mean, we do sing some rum songs in the regular soca mix, but rum is really a chutney thing for that Trinidad vibe. But in general, we do sing about rum all the time. However, a rum song like this, if you listen the vibe of the song first, you tell me there's not real small island, real nice. And that's what I like about the Tobago Carnival too. It gives you that real small island flavor and feel that you could really connect with. Strong Rum, number 1 by Culture B. He's number 1 and he is the Tobago Soca star for the October Carnival 2022.
Yow yow, nice station. DC, you and your friend them Stevie.
You play your big and your greedy, mixing, punching with white rum. Strong rum, go show you down. Strong rum, go show you down. You play your big and your greedy, mixing, punching with white rum. Strong rum, go show you down. Strong rum, go show you down. You play your big and your greedy, mixing, punching with white rum.
Good night. Good night.
We're drinking.
Me and me gal them out the road. Shanika and she see you close. And we drinking. But every time we go to Lime, this man like the best drink every time. And we drinking. Hey, greedy boy. Strong rum go throw you down. Strong rum go throw you down. You play your big and your greedy, mixing, punching with my drum. Strong rum go throw you down. Strong rum go throw you down. You play your big and your greedy, mixing. Everybody, come and put the vibe. Build the vibe non-stop. Build the vibe, get something on up. Build the vibe non-stop. Hey, come and put the vibe up. Build the vibe non-stop. Build the vibe, get something on up. Build the vibe. Punching rum we not chasing. White oak rum we not chasing. Hennessy we not chasing. God. Punching rum we not chasing. White oak rum we not chasing. Hennessy we not chasing. Hey! Strong rum go throw you down. Strong rum go throw you down. You play your big and your greedy, mixing, punching with white rum. Strong rum go throw you down. Strong rum go throw you down. You play your big and your greedy, mixing, punching with white rum. Come up with Build the vibe non-stop. Build the vibe, get something on now. Build the vibe non-stop. Build the vibe, come up with Build the vibe non-stop. Build the vibe, get something on now. Build the vibe non-stop.
Tobago Soca and the Calypso seems to be a staple, and it's always been of its own. So much so that Tobago actually has now 3 soca competitions that have been on the island for carnival activities. This Tobago Soca Star is now on the calendar now. It's now in the October space. New Tobago Soca Monarch, which is what usually runs in the run-of-the-mill February Carnival, as I call it, or National Carnival Festival. And then there's the normal Tobago Soca Monarch, which hasn't been run for a while, but that is what started things off. Adana Roberts would have took home prizes in that in the early issue, and Chester won that in the earlies as well. So, Tobago has a lot of soca monarchs, basically. A lot of soca competitions. I wait to see if we can really and truly see some collaboration, because I think that is what one of the things that Tobago suffers from in executing events and activities like this, whether cultural or otherwise. The unification of things need to happen a little bit better in Tobago. There should never be 3 soca competitions. The 3 soca competition entities should now come together and make one massive soca contribution so that it will help the entire art form. I think it's very, very counterproductive for 3 different people to want to run 3 different soca competitions for one island that is smaller than Trinidad, who really and truly they're looking like they give up on Soca Monarch. But if these 3 entities come together and pull off a good soca monarch or a good soca show and a competition in Tobago, there might be room for the ministers to say, listen, y'all are doing a great job, it's tourism-wise, and y'all are looking nice. come and tell me what we should do about the Trinidad Soca monarch that we're losing. But that's only through unity. It cannot be this constant, gorgon measuring contest. And yes, I said it like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that's offensive to you, but that's what it is. It's a lot of men just trying to measure. And what is happening in the long run is that Tobago as a country, Tobago artists as entertainers, they're the ones who are getting the short end of the stick. So I would say, ixnay on the multiple competition A and get everything together, pull it into one, make it one competition. One competition where you train your artists and you develop and you have one voice to say, this is Tobago Soca. I am very adamant about that because Grenada have a soca now, Grenada have a song. They've taken jab and made it Grenadas. I mean, that's a different podcast. I'm going to talk about that because Grenada would be jab just like Barbados with the flying fish. Yeah, crickets, I know. Anyhow, but on a real, I mean, if we are able to unify, it also means we won't lose things. We keep losing indigenous things. Get an indigenous Tobago sound and put it out there. Get something that sets you apart. Tobago is renowned for tambu bamboo and the tambourine drum. Make that a staple part of Tobago Soca and say, listen, Tobago Soca is this kind of music, but it must have a tambourine drum in it. It must have a fiddle in it. It must have a heel and toe vibe in it. It must have a tambu bamboo in it. And it must use a Tobago twang. You must use a Tobago patois. Put some stipulations and create the market. You all have enough talent among you to make that happen. You have enough artists that we could follow. I just had an experience just this week before I started to record this podcast and listening to Shadow. Shadow had a wealth of hits. Big tune after big tune. I was putting together a folder and a Shadow down the line. I was like, wait, he really had some great music and some great music that gave you a nice indigenous kind of Tobago song that you could emulate and build on. Let's work it out, work it together. All right, I am always able to help. I feel free to give this information. I give the idea. You know what I mean? So work it out. Bring it together. Make one soca competition. That's my part. And I know all the parties at I wouldn't say they're at loggerheads. I know all the parties that have their own intentions and their own desires in terms of where they want to see the art forms. But I think all three parties could come together and come up with a solution that will take the island forward. So I look forward to seeing if that could develop some more. All right, so this is Dear Tobago. This is my musical podcast. I hope you all had a good time with it. I hope you enjoyed the music, and I hope you're tuning in again, because next time when we come back, I want to chat a little bit about all these events, because a lot of these soca artists complain that they didn't get nowhere to perform and nobody hired them and so on and so forth. And I hear you. I understand you. But trying to ram 60 events in 10 days could be very onerous on a promoter when you realize that if you are on an island that probably had 10 to 14,000 people, if there are at any one point in time 6 to 8 events all at the same time, nobody can make money, especially when your budget for artists is somewhere around $50,000 without hiring a Tobago artist. So Tobago artists, I hear you. However, I think you should also look at it from a promoter perspective as well. Them was under pressure. Last minute, lots of expenses. And let's be honest, some of them really didn't know what to do. They was trying a thing. Yes, the soca artists of Tobago who are indigenous to the island need to get a break and they need to get some exercise and experience. However, I really and truly think that, it's going to be a long road forward. Until that soca out of Tobago has one voice, you're going to struggle to try to be heard just in that big group shouting. Because that's what's going to be happening. You're going to be talking about this. You're going to be talking about that. You're going to be talking about that. If you all come together with one voice, it'll be louder than this argument and this loud. You ever hear a crowd, everybody talking at the same time? You hear that? That is what's happening right now. So soca artists in Tobago, come together first before you open your mouth. Come together first and then shout out loud. Because it's only that way they go hear you all the way in England. All across Europe, all across Japan, Asia, all across the world. But only when they could sing in unison. So the organizers of the soca artists do all the thing. But I digress. I'm looking to wrap up here because I go down and organize some dinner and those kind of things, you know what I mean? It is podcast time, but I also need to be human. Look out for it next time, people. We are going to have some more Dare Tobago podcasts for you. And we're going to talk a little bit about how many events it had. It was 16, 10 days. How many made it? How many bus? How many canceled? Where the Harbour Master went? Anyhow, we'll talk all about that in the next podcast. And I also want to slip in our podcast, Roxborough Night Mass, my favorite. My name is Mr. X, people. Antics, the experience, they call me. I was christened Vern RX Devore. And remember, criticism is not a condemnation. You just have to use that fuel to make it rocket-propelled energy. You could make that a rocket. You could make a rocket out of criticism and bust out. All right? So do your things, people. Hope you have a blessed and put God first and mankind after. Still trying to decide on a wrap up for these things. And I don't know. All kind of, you can get plenty of sayings all here. Just be safe out there. Remember, it still have COVID. All right? So keep your distance, wear your mask where you need to, especially in the health institutions, and keep up those hygiene practices, okay? All right, everyone. You all have a blessed one. This has been Dare Tobago. My name is Vern Devore. I'm out.